The other room in this packed house, we all have the same feeling. What do we need me for? We were sitting here, we were enjoying ourselves. So I apologize in advance. But I wanted to share an insight with you about the parshiot that we are in the middle of traveling through as a people. We know, obviously, that the Torah portion many times has deep insights into what we're experiencing in our lives. And I wanted to share an insight with you, something that I always love to come back to when we get to these Torah portions at the beginning of Shemos, at the beginning of the book of Exodus. The book starts in a very interesting place. The book starts by telling us that these are the people that left Egypt. And it recounts the names of the people that traveled down with Yaakov's family, the 70 people that traveled down into Egypt when we were a small, fledgling, little group, little tribe, right? I mean, you can't even call it a nation. It was 70 little people. It recounts that. And all the commentaries are bothered and troubled with the book of Bereshit ends and finishes with all the people from that generation had already passed on. And now you're telling me again, this list of people, what's going on here? Why are you telling me these are the people that came into Egypt? What's going on? And so the commentaries explain very beautifully that the Jewish people, in their relationship with Hashem, the way Hashem looks at that relationship is that the Jewish people are like stars. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful insight. The Jewish people are like stars. And so Hashem likes to count his stars. And he knows, obviously we know Hashem has a name. We say it in Tehillim that Hashem has a name for each individual star. We're precious to Hashem like the stars are precious to Hashem. Such a beautiful idea. Okay? The only problem is that this group, there's nothing star-like about this group. When you look at these 70 downtrodden people, picking themselves up from their homeland, traveling to a foreign country, where are the stars? This is a little, ragtag group, a tribe of sojourners kind of wandering down to Egypt and trying to find their place in a foreign society. Where's the stars? And I'll add on to the question one more thing, is that, in fact, this is very troubling because we know that later on, when the Jewish people as a great nation is being told their history by Moshe, the way the Torah refers to the Jewish people is misei ma'at. Misei ma'at. Ma'at, we know that word. That means small, insignificant. What's the word misei? Does anyone know what the word misei is? Misei ma'at. We refer to the Jews as misei ma'at, the 70 people group, tribe, kind of wandering down to Egypt, traveling down to Egypt. They're called misei ma'at. What's misei? Anyone knows that word? Maybe you know it better. The word mate. The word mate means death, dead, right? So, in fact, later in the Torah, this same group that the commentaries here say, oh, they're stars, they're amazing, the commentaries are way off. They're actually, the way we refer to them later in the Torah is misei ma'at, as just a bunch of dead people. Well, why do you refer to them anyways like that? What's going on here? Why are they referred to in one place as misei ma'at, and then later on, and then we're also pointing out that they're Hashem's, they're God's stars. What's going on? So, to put into perspective this book of Shemos, and as we study it, maybe you study it here, maybe you study it on your own, you learn a little bit of the weekly parsha, you may do more than just learn a little bit of the weekly parsha, maybe a real focus of your learning, and it's a beautiful thing. But to put into perspective this book and the travel that we as a nation are in the middle of experiencing as we read it, we have to understand that the Jews, when they came down, they were misei ma'at. They were a bunch of dead people walking. What does that mean? That they were regular mortals. Coming into Egypt, we were a group of regular mortals. But there's a transformation going on as we read these Torah portions. There's a complete transformation of a people from mere mortals into their eventual position as the superstars in Hashem's world. Okay? So we're transforming as a nation from misei ma'at, mere mortals, into becoming Hashem's stars, into becoming, what's a star, right? What's a star? I mean, how do we use it? How do we use it in our everyday language? A star is someone who has done something that maybe no one else has done, right? A superstar in sports is someone who's in the record books because no one will ever hit that record again. No one will ever hit that many home runs, have that many receptions, right? Score that many goals. No one will ever reach that again. That's a superstar. And so what we're being told here is that as we transform as a people from misei ma'at, from mere mortals, we're transforming here into Hashem's superstars. And what's the mechanism? How is that happening? How is this transformation taking place? The transformation is taking place because we are deepening our relationship with Hashem. Right? Everyone is born as a mere mortal. There's only a certain number of years. We don't know. We don't know how many years it is, but there's only a certain amount of years. The eventual end of every person is death. Right? We know that. It's not a happy thought, but we know the truth. We're mere mortals. How do we transform ourselves like the Jewish people transform themselves? By connecting ourselves to something that lasts for all eternity. What is that thing? What is that ingredient that allows us to transform ourselves into that, into an eternal being? Is by connecting ourselves to Hashem. Right? What we are doing here tonight, I just want to point out, this is a thought I had as I came into the room, as I came into the beautiful, remodeled, and back and better than ever Torch Center. As I walked in, I had a thought, what an amazing room full of people that are here for one goal, one goal in mind. They're here to become immortal. They're here that their legacy will last forever by deepening their connection with Hashem. So, Yasher Koach to everyone for coming. Both sides of the table, completely in this room, in that room, there weren't any chairs left. It's amazing. I sat on a stool. I almost fell off 3 times. It's amazing. But the beauty of what's going on, just take a moment to realize and recognize what we're a part of by being in this room on a weekly basis is such a beautiful thing. So Yasher Koach, everyone. Thank you for letting me share my idea with you, and keep up the amazing work. Keep connecting to Hashem and transforming ourselves, mere mortals, to Hashem's superstars. Thank you.